Hey Salceologists, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to go through the packaging and the branding and the design process behind all of these things in this particular video. So as I've said before, Salceology is a luxury jewelry brand, a luxury science jewelry brand. And as a consumer of luxury fashion myself, one of my favorite things about purchasing something luxurious in the fashion industry is the experience you get when you unbox a package. I love a great unboxing experience, and I think that when a brand puts a lot of effort into the packaging and the experience that the customer has opening the package, I think it's such a great and special and sentimental thing. So this is something that I really wanted for my customers to have. So a fun fact about my branding for the business is that I had full creative control over every aspect of this brand, including the design of the logo, the naming of the brand, and every aspect of the packaging, the website, and how we show up as a business as well. When I first designed the logo for Salceology, I actually already had this in the back of my mind, but my thought process behind the logo was I wanted something that represented science so that even though someone might not know what my brand is, even if they've never heard of it before, the logo itself would indicate that it's got something related to science somehow. Whether they understand it's fashion or not is a different story, but I wanted that clear communication that my brand had a science element to it. There's a big misconception that the logo represents estrogen. It's logical, right? My brand is to empower STEM women to reach their potential, so why wouldn't it be estrogen? It is actually based upon an intermediate sex hormone that is the precursor hormone to estrogen and testosterone, called androstenedione. I will show you guys the chemical pathway here to help you understand which hormone it is that I have built the brand on. So androstenedione is, again, the intermediate molecule of estrogen and testosterone. People don't actually realize that the two sex hormones for male and female are actually structurally the same. The only difference is the enzymes that work upon them. That's what determines what a female and a male sex hormone is. But there is an intermediate molecule that estrogen and testosterone need to be in the form of in order to be converted. And I wanted the brand to be built upon this hormone because I didn't want to associate Salceology with a specific gender. Eventually, I want my brand to be not just for women, but also for non-binary people to enjoy my pieces, and maybe one day for the males as well, when maybe we do something a bit bigger and sort of launch into that space. But the reason why I didn't want to restrict the brand specifically, to estrogen is because I want the brand to grow eventually. And again, I want to be inclusive. There are some customers out there who do not identify as, a woman or female, and I wanted to make sure that they felt included also. So it actually took me a few months to design the logo. I was brainstorming ideas of different symbolisms that could represent science in that way. So one of the symbolisms that I chose was like the biochemical molecules. That's definitely an indication of science. Maybe like a stethoscope or like a test tube or something like that. Maybe an anatomical body part. I don't know. I was just brainstorming a lot of ideas, and then I actually came up with a rough copy of this logo, but wanted to pay someone to actually create the logo professionally and have different files available so that I could slap it across everything and anything to do with the brand. I paid someone, like a graphic designer, to make my designs a little bit more professional, but I also gave them a brief to look into other designs that could potentially work for the brand. I gave them a bit of a description about what Salceology was, that we were a science fashion brand, to empower women, and whether they could think of any other ideas as logos to introduce instead. And so they provided me with 3 designs, which I'll show you here. Pop. So these were the 3 designs that I was given and had a choice of. And in the first set of designs, I was like, I'm not feeling any of these, but I really loved the chemical composition. I was not feeling the other 2. I think for me, when I have my heart set on something, it's very hard to change my mind. So my heart was already set on this particular logo. The only thing was, when I was presented with the 3 options, I wasn't really a fan of how thin the logo was, because Salceology is a brand to empower STEM women to reach their potential and to take up space and to be a prominent entity in their field, and to reach their potential. I wanted the logo to be a bit more powerful and bold. So I really liked the professional design of the molecule, but I wanted it to be like more bold. So I asked for the same logo, but to make the lines a bit thicker to indicate that sort of boldness. With all of our packaging, aesthetic is a big thing, obviously, because we are a luxury brand, but I also want to make sure that our packaging is functional as well. There is no point investing money into packaging that looks good when it doesn't really do its job. And the whole job of packaging is to make sure that when a piece is bought from you, I want to make sure that the piece gets to you safely. And that only happens when you have good quality packaging, which I believe Salceology has. So I opted for this really sturdy box because, again, it really ties into that luxury feel. And all our packaging for our jewelry has multiple slits in them so that we can package more than one item in the box. I'm very mindful that even though we are a luxury brand, I am mindful about waste as well. So I only try to include things in our packaging if I know it's really needed. A lot of the time I've digitized a lot of the things that normal businesses include in their packaging. So for example, jewelry aftercare instructions are usually put into packaging, like as a separate, piece of paper or whatever. I've digitized that and have sort of converted it so that you don't have to have all that extra packaging in there just to communicate jewelry information. But anyway, I'll talk about that later. So when you buy a Salceology piece of jewelry, all our jewelry pieces come in our eco-friendly jewelry boxes. Looks a little bit like that. Again, I went for the matte black and gold foil look, and I actually wanted to introduce jewelry boxes into the collection. So not the eco-friendly cardboard ones, but the actual jewelry boxes that you buy from a lot of the jewelry stores. But I just found that it wasn't really vibing with the brand's aesthetic, and I saw samples of these with the manufacturer, and I was like, that's it, that's brilliant. I can't wait to stick the logo on this. And when I got my first sample, I was so excited because it was the first thing that I ever got sent that actually showed my business manifesting in real life. When you buy a piece of jewelry from us, each package gets its own thank you card. So this is a matte black gold foil thank you card. And believe it or not, I designed this card myself. I designed the card, the font and the borders and everything. And I even chose the type of paper and the type of finish of the paper and the type of foiling of the gold on this package. So I'm definitely very creatively involved in every aspect of the brand. And the whole purpose of the thank you card is to write a nice message. Customers can actually opt in to write their own personal message at checkout in the notes section before you pay. But if someone doesn't include a personalized message, I write a handwritten one to them to say thank you. It's also got our socials on there and a QR code to access more information as well. When you buy a jewelry piece from us, whether it's a necklace or an earring, you get a free travel pouch as well. I include these in for free for every purchase just because I think it's really nice to have something like this to carry your jewelry with you when you are traveling. I use these all the time. You'll see them in my vlogs. Because a lot of the time, if I'm not putting them in our eco-friendly jewelry boxes, these can be reused, by the way. I just put specific pieces in here to keep them safe and wear them. And sometimes I just throw them in my bag. And yeah, it's just a nice way to handle your pieces when you are out and about. So they get included for free. Now, another packaging aspects that I've introduced to my brand are custom wax seals. So when you buy a Salceology order from me, the magnetic boxes, when you open them up, have tissue paper in them, and the packaging inside is sealed with a wax seal. Now, I actually hand make these custom seals. Like, I literally sit there on a Saturday night in front of the TV watching a Netflix movie and have a whole wax seal set up with a candle, my wax seals, and my gold foil and all of these things that I need. And I sit there and hand stamp every single one of these wax seals, which makes it really special. You know, I add all the gold foil and stuff in there too. And I think it just adds a nice touch. And what's really funny is that the idea to put wax seals on my packaging came from one time when I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean, the movie. It was really funny because in one scene of that movie, one of the governors or whoever was writing a letter, a really important letter, and sealed it with his own wax seal. So he had like a ring with his seal, and he stamped it onto the parchment and then created a seal on top. And back in the day, that's one of the ways that people knew if someone opened a piece of parchment letter, if the seal was broken. And I remember sitting there watching it and I was like, oh my God, how cool would it be to have a wax seal sort of addition to my packaging? That would be pretty cool. So I actually investigated. I searched over the internet to see who made custom wax seals, and I asked them to custom create a wax seal with my logo on it. Yeah, we hand stamp our own wax seals with the Salceology logo, so I thought that was really cute. A new piece of packaging I introduced to the brand recently was this little gift bag, which has our logo on it. Again, matte black ribbon, gold foil. I brought these into the business because when I moved to Canberra, I had a lot of customers that were local, that were just picking up their orders. They were people that I work with or that I have, that I know from my networks, who wanted to buy a piece from me but didn't really need the piece to be shipped. So I always used to give them like the option to just pick up the order, and then I realized that I didn't have a packaging method that was nice for pickup orders. So we introduced little gift bags. So if you ever do a pickup order, which I might start doing when I move back to Melbourne, you'll get them in these. Now, all of our pieces, including our thank you cards and all the free things that I include in there, arrive in our magnetic luxury box. So this box is actually inspired, so I'll show you. So you've got the gold foil detail. Again, I chose the shade of gold foil, matte black, of course. I like the square sort of vibe. I was actually tossing up between whether to make the boxes square or hexagon. At that time when I first started the business, we didn't have the budget to make hexagon boxes. They're very expensive. So we opted for a square one. And it's just minimal. So it's magnetic. So having a magnetic box that closes on its own means that we don't have to use excess packaging like ribbon and things like that to close the box. It's very sexy, it's very sleek, very simple in design, which we love at Salceology. I think the key word I wanted for the packaging was that it was sexy. Like matte black, all black, everything black and gold is such a sexy combination, and I just wanted that for the branding. Our branding is very minimal, so this is one of the ways here, having a QR code on the box. It's one of the ways where I'm trying to be more eco-friendly and reduce waste in the packaging. So a lot of the information about, you know, our jewelry, how to take care of the jewelry is in the QR code when you scan it. And again, it just minimizes all the extra stuff that I put in there, and it gives me more space to give you guys freebies as well. This was actually inspired by a chocolate shop that I went to in Melbourne that sold luxury chocolates. I found the manufacturer who made their boxes, and I was like, I love the magnetic sort of luxury vibe. It was really nice, and so yeah, that's where we got this from. They're good to keep for other occasions as well. They make great like boxes to just display and keep. It's, yeah, very nice. And having these boxes, the magnetic box and the eco-friendly jewelry box together, creates a really sturdy set of packaging for orders that have to be shipped out. So touch wood, I have never received a complaint that someone's jewelry piece was damaged during transit. And I'm so happy, because that means that the packaging that I've paid a lot of money for is actually doing its job. And I also have just like custom business cards and things that I include in the Salceology packaging. This card talks about ways that you can support the business. I created this a very long time ago, and I'm trying to phase them out. So I still include them in the packaging, but we'll be redesigning business cards and things in the future once I've gotten rid of these. And I've also got custom stickers as well. I use the stickers for a lot of things. They're very versatile. When I package up your order, I'll put the sticker on the top so you know it's from Salceology. Sometimes I get involved in a lot of charity events and things and donate items or packages, not of jewelry, but like packages of like other things like groceries, whatever. I like to use the stickers to brand whatever it is that I'm donating so they know it's from us. There you have it. That was my Salceology jewelry tour, just showcasing some of our pieces and the design process behind each of them. I hope you guys enjoyed that. See ya. I swear, I always forget not to film when my washer and dryer is going through like a bloody waterfall cycle or whatever, because you can hear it in the background, but I have to film, so sorry in advance. So before I go into our pieces, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the builds. When you do a bit of research into, I guess, sacred geometry and natural geometry that occurs naturally in the natural world, take a shot every time I say the word natural.